On a quiet September night in 1666, London slept, unaware that the next 4 days would turn their great city into ash. No one knew the spark that would ignite, and no one could imagine the chaos that would follow. This is the story of the Great Fire of London, how it began, how it spread, and how it changed the city forever. London in the 17th century was a city of wood and narrow streets, packed tightly like tinder, waiting for a flame. Houses leaned toward each other, their rooftops almost touching. Inside, families lived with candles, fireplaces, and ovens, all surrounded by dry timber. But it was also a city recovering from tragedy. Just the year before, the plague had killed nearly 100,000 people, 1/5 of London's population. The people thought the worst was behind them. They were wrong. In the early hours of Sunday, September 2nd, 1666, a small bakery on Pudding Lane closed for the night. Inside, embers glowed in the oven. Whether from carelessness or chance, a tiny flame caught hold of a pile of firewood. The baker's family awoke to smoke, but by the time they reacted, the fire had leapt to the thatched roof. In minutes, the flames were raging into the street. That night, a strong east wind blew, carrying sparks across the street to other houses. The city's firefighting methods were primitive: buckets of water, leather hoses, and the desperate tearing down of buildings to stop the fire. But with the wind feeding it, the fire became a living monster, leaping from roof to roof. Within hours, it had reached the Thames River, setting warehouses full of oil, pitch, and coal ablaze. The river itself seemed to burn. The streets filled with panic. People ran carrying whatever they could: furniture, clothes, even pets. But carts and boats quickly filled, and thieves prowled the chaos, looting abandoned homes. Rumors spread that the fire was no accident. Some whispered of foreign sabotage, others spoke of divine punishment. Fear turned to anger, and mobs attacked anyone who looked suspicious. But the fire didn't care about rumors. It only spread. On the third day, the fire reached St. Paul's Cathedral, a massive stone church thought to be fireproof, but it was filled with wooden scaffolding for repairs. And when the flames reached it, the cathedral exploded into an inferno. The heat was so intense that lead from the roof flowed through the streets. Finally, King Charles II ordered the creation of massive fire breaks. Entire rows of houses were blown up with gunpowder to stop the fire's advance. On the fourth day, the wind died and the fire began to fade. When it was over, 4/5 of London's old city was gone. 13,000 houses, 87 churches, countless shops and warehouses destroyed. Astonishingly, only a small number of lives were officially recorded lost, though historians believe the true number was far higher. Out of the ashes, London was rebuilt, this time with brick and stone, wider streets, and better planning. And in 1667, the city passed the Rebuilding Act, ensuring that such disaster could never happen again. The Great Fire of London began with a single spark, but it reshaped an entire city, a reminder that from destruction can come renewal, and from ashes a new chapter can rise. Pause. This was history, reborn.